Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside. And now, make it loud for him. He's a happy boy in the park. It's Eddie Pepitone.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. We're in NoHo Park here, North Hollywood, California. It is a beautiful day. Mark Saratella. You can't see him. Thank God. I'm just fucking with you. Hey, everybody. I'm back from a long road trip. I didn't feel, whenever I come off these road trips, Kev, I don't feel that great.
You really, when you go out and when you entertain the people, you leave it all on the table.
I do leave it all on the table, and then I have some kind of breakdown toward the end.
Yeah.
Breakdown is emotional. It's, I start to smoke a little weed toward the end. And then...
Are you back off the wagon?
Well, I was for a week.
Okay.
Out there in where was I? Austin. At the end, I was.
Yeah.
I was headlining the Creek in the Cave, the great club owned by Rebecca Trent, and it was great. But at the end of the road trip, man, I just go off the rails sometimes.
Yeah.
It was a 3-week journey.
Yeah.
Me and JT Habersat. We did Louisiana, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We had a weird pit stop in a place called Valdosta, Georgia.
Okay.
Which is a little college town. And then we headed to Florida, man.
Holy shit.
And that's a bizarre little place.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where were you at in Florida?
We did Orlando, Gainesville, Tampa, Jacksonville, and Miami.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You didn't stop by Disney World at all?
That's in Orlando, right?
Yeah.
No.
Ugh.
No.
You gotta love Epcot Center out there.
What is Epcot again?
That's that big dome that has all the cultures in it. So you can go
Yes.
That's where my uncle got his my famous uncle became famous for his yodeling there, which he did 25 years ago. And every time anybody brings up anything about my uncle, it's always that he's a yodeling champion. He can't live it down. But Epcot, yeah, it's a blast. Yeah, JT a bad influence? You're out on the road with Habersat, and is he
That's
just
bad influence as far as what?
Is he just rolling J's and handing them to you the whole time?
No. It's totally my choice, and you know me. I don't have any control over my emotions.
Yeah, I feel so similar.
You do?
Absolutely.
What's going on with you, buddy?
Well, that
I'm in a free fall, but
hey,
it's all right.
Put your arms out, buddy. I'll catch you. No, I feel like that whole concept of not doing what you want to do and kind of doing what you don't want to do. I think it's an addiction pattern type of a thing where you're just I'm making this decision to do X, Y, or Z, and then the day comes and you're like, eh.
With me, it's like I get worn down. It was 2 weeks of being completely good and not smoking, and
you were even longer than 2 weeks before that.
Oh yeah. I was about 2 months.
Yeah.
And then you know what happened? We had 4 days off after Miami between Austin, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So it was fine, but then I spin off a little, and like I said, I really don't have much control of my you ever realize how fucked up a person you are? You usually realize this when you're trying to relate to someone else.
Oh God, yes. And you reveal something thinking that they'll relate, and they go, actually, no. You're like, do you ever? And they're like, no, that's
or their
unique
behavior. Their behavior triggers your insanity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're like, fuck, I'm insane. That's a horrible realization. Let me talk to the kids out there. We're Apocalypse Soon, and we are a cautionary tale, and when you realize you're insane, you can deny it or you can lean into it. I suggest you lean into it, meaning accept your insanity or it'll never get better. If you push it away, you're ignoring it.
Acknowledge it and let it pass.
Acknowledge it and feel it. And then maybe it'll pass. It'll come back, though.
Yeah.
You know?
I went to the doctor for migraines once, and he's like, so what's going on? What's happening? Because I had what's called an ocular migraine, which means I went blind in like part of my eye because of the headache. And so I went to the doctor.
One headache?
Yeah, well, it's happened a couple of times where I'll get a migraine and then I'll feel nauseous, and then it's not like it's blind. It's like my peripheral's gone.
By the way, do you have any weed?
I don't have any.
Okay.
That
was a joke.
I wish.
That was a joke you took seriously.
I'm ready because I'm the bad influence. No, but so I go to the doctor. He goes, anything else going on? I go, well, I don't know. I haven't changed my habits or whatever. And he's like, nothing. I go, well, I don't know if this is anything because I'm worried about my brain or whatever. But sometimes when the fan's on, I think I can hear like voices in the fan. And the doctor,
the old voices in the fan.
And the doctor goes, no, not like that. Nothing like that. And I was like, oh, okay. And then it's like we moved on.
Moved on.
Yeah, and I was like, shit. The doctor thinks I'm nuts.
No, the doctor. What was the question that you answered like that about voices in the fans?
Because the doctor's going like, what's going on with the headache? Have you changed your diet? Is there anything else happening that would kind of explain maybe what's going on, why you're getting these ocular migraines? And I'm just like, I do hear voices in the fan sometimes.
That's such a non sequitur in a way, because were you trying to say to the doctor that the voices I hear in fans, by the way, my fans are always, telling me things, and saying, Eddie, you're great. What do your voices of your fans say?
Oh, it's a lot of, it's really frustrating because I'll be trying to sleep or something and I'll just hear, like it's, you know what I mean? Like
let me tell you something. What you're talking? Go ahead. You finish up.
No. You think you're hearing something, but then I'm just like, what is that? I'm like, is somebody talking over the fan? And then I turn the fan off. There's nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell is that? It's my brain trying to interpret the random noises or whatever.
Yeah.
But when I went to the doctor, it's because of the first time it ever happened, and I was like, maybe I have a brain tumor. Maybe I have. That's why I went blind in my left eye. And so
I know.
You know what I mean? So then I was like, I'm going to disclose everything to this doctor. I'm like, these are my turn-ons. I hear voices in the fan.
Yeah.
I hate tomatoes, but I love stewed tomatoes. Like, he's like, no, that's not it.
Oh my God. You're the guy who, and that's pretty funny, you reveal too much information.
Yeah.
Like, so what do you think caused the headaches? Well, I think the electrical socket wants me dead. You what? I think the electrical socket is trying to kill me and my family. And the reason I say that, Doc, is because I woke up and there was a note on my table that said, I'm going to fucking kill you, signed electrical socket. And your doctor just like quietly goes, I'm going to get the nurse in here and she's going to take blood. When they start taking blood, and let me tell you, kids, first of all, a couple of things. Our sanity is so fragile, and the more sensitive you are to this world, the more sensitive a creature you are to this world, you better surround yourself with love or you're fucked. Because this world, and what I'm talking about, and we talk about this a lot on the podcast, late stages capitalism, the pursuit of profit doesn't fucking care about you, okay? It doesn't care about you and your feelings and your fragility. Late stage capitalism devours everything, including nature and human beings. And it's such that the support systems we have to make ourselves. Who is your support system? Is your family,
Yeah,
right?
a
But
little bit.
yeah, they turn on you though.
You know what it is?
Your family particularly turns on you.
They'll my kids, man. They'll rip me apart. You know, it's.
Well, you had kids. You played that game. I think I've said this before that I think people who have children are cowards because it gives them a reason to live. They surround themselves with these, even though it must be. How old are your kids again?
12 and 14.
Oh, okay. So
almost.
You've been through a lot of stuff already with the kids, right?
A lot. And puberty is happening now. That's really fun. It's a good time. My son keeps going to bed an hour earlier.
Yeah.
And closing the door. I'm like, what's going on in there? It's he's going through it. Yeah, but you know what it is? There are people like I can't talk to my wife about comedy stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
You can't?
No, not really. Like she's super supportive, but it's almost like I'll be like, this thing, and she's like, okay, honey, that's nice. Like I'll be like,
well, that's your support system has to be other comedians.
Yes.
And you know what? The truth is, our support systems are usually very small, like one good friend, two good friends, maybe 3 good friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just people you can really confide in, you have a rapport with. You know what I mean?
Do you have some go-tos?
Yeah, I do.
Name them, and what's their number and their social security number. It really.
You have to have, but anyway.
You got to have 1 or 2.
Yeah, look, again, I want to address.
Thank you.
Look, we're in a beautiful park. It's a beautiful day, so I don't know if this is landing visually because a lot of times people think because there's sunlight, they think that, things are great, light equals love. It does not. We are in tremendous darkness in this stage of our evolution.
Yeah.
We're holding for a plane. It's a Southwest plane.
Wow.
Yeah, I fly a lot. Southwest, they fuck so many people during the holidays, but
dude, yeah.
I just took them recently, and it was fine. It was fine. I always feel like the best time to deal with the corporation is after they get publicly shamed because they're going to be on good behavior for a while.
That's why I always go to 2-star restaurants. I go, has the food inspector been here recently? And he's like, oh, yeah, we just got the 2 stars. I'm like, these guys are on top of it.
Hey, I think we had a nice little intro. We're going to do a guided meditation.
Oh, thank God.
Right now.
But
what I wanted to say is we're so close to insanity, especially if you're someone who is sensitive to everything.
Yeah.
And we get isolated by this society because of the pursuit of money, because of the insane pursuit of profit, and the insane manipulation by the media. The mainstream media pits right against left. It's just a right against left. There is a polarization that they create and that they feast on. There's an actual ghoulish feasting that's going on. And I welcome you to the podcast.
It's ghoulish?
Ghoulish because they feast on death.
I see.
They feast on death.
They're like money zombies.
Yeah, I mean, war is the most obvious thing, the perpetuation of war that goes on.
Huge profit.
I think this is a good time for a guided.
Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. Take it easy. Get your biggest pillow. It's time for another guided meditation. with Eddie Pepitone.
Hey, everybody. It's really a beautiful day here in North Hollywood. I hope where you are, you're feeling some beauty as well. I want you now to take off your parkers. The winter, it's February 11 or 12. I think it's the 11th. I want you to take off your winter clothes and start getting ready for this summer. I hope you have on light-fitting clothing. And now, with your first in-breath, I want you to breathe in some gorgeous, mellifluous. No, that's not a word. Mellifluous. I think mellifluous is the word. I want you to, let's just drop that word, and why don't you just empty yourself of all the anxiety that's tearing you to shreds. And what I mean about that, and you know what I mean, is that anxiety is like little knives. Just pretend a small person is coming at you with small knives. Everything's small but the pain. And they're jabbing the knives into your fucking eyes. I want you to breathe that out. I don't want you to feel that, okay? Let go of that anxiety and let go of the knife that's going into your skin. You know, that little knife that's being held and jabbed into you by that little person. And now, once you've emptied yourself of anxiety and debt and all the things, empty all the horrors you have seen in your life. Like, empty the fact that you have seen things die in front of you, that you have seen a vicious fight between children. You know, you associate children with beauty and you saw a vicious fight. Empty yourself of that. Empty yourself of the fact that Bob Crane was killed with a tripod by his friend John Carpenter. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, see the movie Autofocus. Carpenter was never convicted. Smart man, but he did kill Bob Crane. There's pretty. Anyway, I want you to empty your mind of all the Hollywood murders, whether it was Sal Mineo killed in a driveway in West Hollywood. Nobody knows what happened to Sal. He was a good character actor. Gay man who was killed. Empty your mind of all the hate crimes that are constantly going on. And hopefully now you've emptied your mind of all of that horrific stuff. And the fact that there's more horrific stuff coming, and it's going to make these days seem like the good old days. Empty your mind of that. And now, with your first in-breath, I want you to take in the real beauty of this earth and of this life, which is sweet death. Sweet death is what we all really yearn for. You know why? Because we cling to life, and when we cling to life, we create pain. Read any Buddhist manual. I got my Buddhist manual at a place called Buddha Boy. It was next to a Pet Boy. Anyway, they have manuals, and just read a Buddhist manual. When you cling to life, you create pain because you're clinging. What you want to do is you want to let go of everything, and that is death. Death of what? Death of the ego. Yes, your body will die, but guess what? You are not your body, everybody. You are not your body. You are awareness. Now, most of you can't feel that, so your deaths will be painful and violent because you believe you are your body and you are your mind. So it will be painful environment, but for those of you who can let go, let go. That's a very small percentage of you, if even one of you. So most of you will die a violent death. But with your next in-breath, I want you... Oh, that was an in-breath. No, with your next out-breath, I want you to breathe out the fact that there will be a reckoning. There will be a reckoning coming. And that reckoning could be in the form of a heart attack. That depends on your body type. Men usually have that more than the ladies. Cancer, it could be cancer. Cancer keeps proliferating because of the food supply and the air supply and all the stress. Stress has been linked to cancer in a number of studies that you should read, even though reading a stress study that links to cancer causes stress, which then causes cancer. And as you can see, yes, the cat, as my friend here, the cat chasing its tail, the snake eating its tail. You read a stress study about cancer being linked, you have more stress, and then you have cancer. I want you to breathe that out. And now, with your final in-breath, and I mean final, I want you to breathe in the fact that there is no God to save you. There is no God to save you. I want you to feel the stark reality of being on a spinning planet in the middle of one of many universes. Your mind can't even wrap around how infinitely lonely we are here in our universe, not to mention other universes. There is no God. Whitney Cummings will not save you. Bert Kreischer, maybe. Maybe Bert.
Thanks for joining us on another guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
You know, I hope that wasn't too negative, you know. I try to end it with Bert Kreischer.
Well, I mean, honestly, ending it with Bert Kreischer erases any negative that could have happened. And I do that a lot, especially if I end up yelling at my wife. I'll mention Bert Kreischer towards the end, you know.
Hey, everybody. This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew, the online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis in chewable tablets at a fraction of the cost. So what I'm talking about here are dick pills, kids. Dick pills. Now, I know a lot of people out there, mostly men, are having problems with erections. And let me tell you something. I'm no stranger to that. I sometimes, when I really am in an important rendezvous situation with a lady, old Captain Johnson, old Captain Fredericks has trouble getting up there. And so I came across Blue Chew. And let me tell you something. My penis now is like a Louisville Slugger. My penis is like an athlete at this point. The rest of my body not that athletic, but it seems to have a mind of its own. So
Mickey Mantle signed your penis at one point. I remember.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. If you want someone like Mickey Mantle to sign your cock, You could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform. Chew it and do it. Have better sex. Try Blue Chew for free. Use promo code PEP at checkout, and you just pay $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com, code PEP, to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And thank you, Blue Chew, for supporting the podcast. Now, Bert Kreischer is my safe word with my dominatrix. You know? And she doesn't really stop tightening the nipple clamps, but what she will do is look to see if Kreischer is in the room. Yeah. Like I'll say Bert Kreischer, and she'll go, where? And then the nipple clamps ease up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes when she's whipping the balls a little too hard, you go, Bert Kreischer. Who?
Right.
Oh, man. No, I think people like you got to have that people come here for the negativity wrapped in the sweetness of Edward Pepperino, and
it's just that my negativity.
Yeah.
My negativity is my attempt to transcend it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get what I mean. Like it's so hard for me to be loving and positive because I was brought up in a stew of hate.
Yeah.
Like if you go to a restaurant, you will never see on a menu, you will never have the way to go, would you like to have the hate stew? No, it's always like a lamb stew or a curry stew.
Yeah.
Beef stew is a big one, right?
Or
navy bean stew.
Oh, love a navy.
What's the difference between a stew and a soup, by the way?
Thickness.
Yep. Now that, by the way, what you just witnessed there, folks, is someone who cuts through the bullshit. A one-word answer. What's the difference between stew and soup? Thickness. You don't get meandering shit.
Nope.
On this podcast. I think we should go into a driving in the rain. I mean, that inspired me.
Oh, I love it.
That inspired me to do a driving in the rain.
And now, driving in the rain with Eddie Pepitone.
It was a horrible night in Los Angeles. The rain was coming down like thunderclouds. And I'm talking about thunderclouds when thunderclouds was a great Indian chief before the genocides. Thunderclouds was the biggest badass of all the Native Americans, and then we completely destroyed them. The rain was destroying my beautiful Honda Element. My wipers went to and fro. I couldn't see in front of me. I was in my Uber / Uber Eats / DoorDash / Lyft / Wrist / Bloodmobile / Therapymobile. The object, the message is I use this car for everything to make a buck here in the gig economy. And the rain pelted my windows the way Leonard Peltier was destroyed at Wounded Knee. Leonard Peltier was crucified for protecting his own land at Wounded Knee. I don't know why I'm on this kick right now, because I had to deliver a breakfast burrito to a dame with legs as long as the day was short, if you could follow that. And I kept driving through the rain. I couldn't see anything. I just laid on my horn, and I'm not saying I laid down on my horn. I just laid on it with my hand. I laid on that horn, so if anything got in the way, whether it was someone in a wheelchair, whether it was a relative of Leonard Peltier, whether it was somebody who planted seeds in a biosphere. I didn't want to kill anybody, but I did want to deliver this breakfast burrito to a dame with legs so long that a pine tree looked down on this dame with jealousy, and the pine tree wept and wept and wept and wept. You ever see a pine tree weep? The little needles from the pine cones, it's like little vaccinations. You get a needle in you, and it doesn't protect you from the virus, just like our vaccine. Someone pointed out to me recently that a vaccine is supposed to stop you from getting the virus. Well, that hasn't happened, has it? Anyway, the rain came down, and suddenly I saw her. She was standing there with the most beatific smile that I had ever seen on a dame, a broad, a chick, a hooskow. A beautiful, beautiful woman. She stuck her hand into my car and said, "You got my breakfast burrito?" I said, "Why so cold, baby?" She said, The rain, she said. "The rain is putting me in a mood." I said, "Get in the back of my car. I'll put on some Dizzy Gillespie." She said, "Too late. I'm one step ahead of you. I'm dizzy as hell." And with that, she fell over into the street, and the burrito went flying. I jumped out of the car. I was able to grab the burrito just before it went into a puddle. I grabbed it, and she was laying on her back in a puddle full of rain, and I said, "What the hell happened to you?" She said, "My dizziness is related to a lack of food. I haven't eaten in quite some time," she said. I said, "Open your mouth, baby," and I fed her the burrito, and a police cruiser came by. He said, "What the hell is going on here?" I said, "Buddy, you can tase me, you can shoot me, you can write me a ticket, but this woman needs some of this breakfast burrito. She's got low blood sugar, officer." And he looked at me and he said, "You're doing God's work," and he drove off. She kicked back to life. She got up. Her dress was all wet. The rain started coming down even harder. I said, "Do you know anything about Leonard Peltier and Wounded Knee?" She said, "Buddy, thanks for the breakfast burrito, but I don't get into politics."
Well, thanks for joining us on another Driving in the Rain with Eddie Pepitone.
Yeah,
Peltier, dude, you were pulling some gems, some
Look, first of
rarefied air.
First of all, I want to say to people listening, this is the first day back, in a while, doing the podcast. So, yeah, there's going to be some fumbling around. There's going to be some reaching, right?
Oh, I love fumbling and reaching.
Fumbling
like
and
my
reaching.
honeymoon night.
Hey, by the way, as we tape this, it's a Saturday. Are we releasing this Tuesday?
Yeah.
So the Super Bowl is tomorrow. Do you care to make a pick, Chiefs or Eagles? What do you think?
Oh, I got to go Eagles.
Okay, I think that's the smart choice, but I'm going to go Chiefs.
Oh, you're
because
an
I
underdog.
hate the Eagles.
Yeah.
I hate them.
You hate them.
Yeah, I hate them because I'm a New York Giants fan.
Oh, that's right.
But anyway, so we'll see who's right. I think I'll be right because I'm coming from a place of hate.
That's right.
And you're coming from a place of not knowing sports.
100%.
You don't know sports.
I don't.
Are you going to even watch the game?
I mean, I like to go to Super Bowl parties for the food. There's always really good
I'm
food.
doing a podcast with the Super Bowl party after.
Oh, really?
I mean, with food. It's at the Lyric Hyperion.
Oh, hell yeah.
By the way, I'm sorry that you have to see kind of private conversation. By the way, you're a great crowd out there. Thank you for being Patreon members. The money we get monthly. Did you get the Patreon I sent you?
I did.
I have to send him money, so I don't get as much as I'd like. So please, what I'm saying is, if you're listening for the first time, or if you're listening for the 100th time and you haven't become a Patreon member or Patreon, it doesn't matter. Just go to Patreon NoHo.com / Eddie Pepitone.
Yeah.
And become a member. And, this driving in the rain, this guided meditations,
yeah,
they come at a price, folks. My life is being shortened with each reach into my subconscious for these bits.
It's a mental feat. It's almost exercise. It's a beautiful thing to see. Like I feel that I can feel the emotional sweat pouring off of you in these things.
Well,
it's not easy to pull this stuff.
No,
right out.
No.
By the way, when you sent me that Patreon money, I told my children. I told them, one of these days I'm going to take you to Taco Bell. And we were we were outside of the door, and I was looking at my phone, seeing if that Venmo was going to get reloaded. We wait. They go, Dad, can we eat now? I go, honey, I'm waiting on this Patreon coming through. And this is what you guys got to realize: when you give your money to us, you're feeding my children. And we got one of those 10 packs of bean burritos, Eddie, and we've been living off that for the last week.
Heartwarming story or time filler? You make the call. You make the call on that. All right. Well, since I mentioned the Super Bowl, maybe this is a good time to do that new thing.
Oh yeah,
you suggested, and you could intro it any way you want. So they understand what the hell I'm doing.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a break to join the team in the locker room as Eddie Pepitone gives the halftime speech at the Super Bowl.
Look, guys, we're losing 42-0, and that's the good news. All right? The bad news is 6 of our guys are dead. All right? They're obviously a better team. Not only are they a better team, but they're a homicidal team, okay? We shouldn't be in the same stadium that these guys are in, okay? But what I want you to do, Jones, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
A little bit.
All right, you can hear me enough if you can answer that question. So, Jones, I know that there's blood building up in your skull from getting hit by that lunatic, whatever his name is, number 72 on that team. But look, Jones, if you can hear me through the blood building up in your skull, you're going to have to do a button hook. We're going to come out, and Johnson is going to throw you a button hook. And the button hook, I want you to go toward the pylon. Now, where is Fredericks? Fredericks?
He died. Oh, what?
Hey, Coach, I'm over here.
Okay. Fredericks, what I'm going to need now, look, Fredericks, I know that your arm got separated from your body. By the way, we have the arm on ice, so don't worry.
Thank God.
I know
Mr.
you
Pepitone.
paint. I know you paint in your spare time, and that arm is important to you. What do you do? Digital painting on the iPad, or?
No, I like to use a stick. I make my own horsehair brushes with. I like to use oil.
Okay. Anyway, we don't have time to get into your, what you do, but I want you this half to go. You're not going to be able to tackle with that left arm. As I said, it's on ice and it's being flown to a hospital as we speak. They're going to try to rejuvenate it, and then we're going to fly you to the hospital to get that reattached. But before that, I want you to practice kicking field goals, Fredericks. You have 2 good feet.
Yeah.
And if we get in field goal range, we're going to have to count on you, because our field goal kicker, folks, guys, I mean, I shouldn't call you folks. Folks is when I call people when I'm doing when I'm doing my song. I do, guys, I don't know if you know, but I do little songs in bars on the weekends, little love songs. I'll give you an example of one. No, please don't, Coach.
Come on, Coach. Just do the motivation, the halftime thing. You don't need to sing for us again.
All right. But
You're always singing at halftime.
all right, but some of the songs go like this, you know. No,
Oh,
Coach,
Jesus,
please.
Coach, come on.
Please, Coach. No, some of the songs go like this, guys.
Okay.
She left me for a sandwich.
That's a pretty good
She
song. actually.
left me for a BLT. Anyway, they're funny. They're rye. You mean the BLT's on rye, Coach? No. I meant rye, R, no, W. Oh, wait, you said R. Now, rye is R-Y. I meant W-R-Y. Oh, rye as in sardonic, Coach?
Wait, kind
Look,
of
guys, are
English
we going to
teacher?
bullshit about grammar here? Now, what I wanted to say was that our field goal kicker is dead, and that's why I'm asking Fredericks here, or whatever I called him in this bit.
Coach. Hello, Coach.
Oh, no. You're not an Italian alien, are you? I want to tell you. You sound Swedish to me, buddy. I can't help you win this game by giving them some bad pasta fagioli.
Coach, I like this idea. It sounds pretty good.
Yeah, well, you would like this idea.
I like it. I mean, I could rest my shoulder joint over here maybe a little bit, and they could eat the pasta.
All right, let me ask the Italian alien one thing. Yes, shoot. First of all, is there such a thing as the Cosa Nostra? No comment. Did you see the movie, The Untouchables? I enjoyed Sean Connery, but Kevin Costner is like watching a paint dry. What's going on there, Italian? Oh, I just saw how big the other guys are on the other team. I think I go to my spaceship. Wait, come back here. He's
man.
gone.
Coach, we're done for. I don't know how we're going to come back in the second half.
All right, guys, here's the strategy. Let's call an Uber. All right? Everybody got their phones?
Yeah.
Call an Uber or a Lyft or a DoorDash or a Bloodmobile or a Bookmobile. You know, hey, boss, you're not referencing driving in the rain, are you? What are you talking about? Hey, you know, the driving in the rain thing that a lot of us guys like to listen to calm us down.
It's a great podcast. Great stuff. We love it, Coach.
I didn't know you guys listen to podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we're losing. You take a look at those guys across the field. They haven't listened to anything good in years. That's why they're homicidal maniacs. You guys are developing muscles to feel and live, and we live in end stages capitalism, gentlemen.
I like to listen to This American Life in my helmet
See,
while we're going.
this is why.
It's a great pod. I love Ira Glass. I love him.
Ira Glass. This is why we're losing, guys. We can't listen to This American Life or How to Fix a Car in our helmets. We can't live. By the way, anything from NPR is detrimental for the will to live. NPR means that there is no will to live, that you've given up on life.
I got a tote bag for donating.
See what I mean? Now, listen, guys, I think we should just call an Uber or a Lyft or a DoorDash. Wait a minute, Coach. DoorDash will not take us anywhere. They will only deliver things. Oh, all right, we'll call an Uber or Lyft. What about Crazy Eights? What the hell is that? That's another cab company that I use. What, do clowns show up? Yeah, they're dressed like clowns. Well, that's scary.
They're all immigrants. They all dress like clowns. It's pretty good service, so.
I'm back. What do you want, Italian alien? I'm back. I'm sorry I ran away. You're a fucker. You know that? Thank you. That's not a compliment. Thank you. Ah, shit. Thank you. Are you stuck on thank you? Thank you. Are you programmed? Somebody hit the alien. Somebody reprogram. All right, look, guys. Let me get back to telling you what we need to do.
Oh, that's right. We got a football game.
Call an Uber. Call a Lyft. Call Crazy Eights. Your own cab company. And just get the fuck out of here. Because we've already lost 7 people. Oh, I just got word from the trainer. 8 are dead now. 8 are dead. There's only 12 of us left. and I sure as shit ain't putting on a uniform. I got too much to live for. I sing love songs that are rye. R-Y-E? W-R-Y.
We just lost Mike, by the way.
All right, we're down to 11. Call an Uber. Call a Lyft. But not a DoorDash, sir. Not a DoorDash. They only deliver, right?
That's
But
right.
why can't you get in the car with them and say, I'd like to go to your next delivery? I guess that's possible. All right, look, so let's get out of here, guys. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us as Eddie Pepitone gives the motivational speech at the halftime show at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was a new segment. That was a new segment.
This podcast could be called Ouroboros. Where
It could be called what?
Ouroboros.
What does that
the
mean?
snake swallowing its own tail.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
The circular.
Yeah. What was another thing a new one? Let's end on a new one.
Yeah.
We want to thank everybody for listening. I know it's unorthodox to do it outside of the studio, even though a lot of people have said they like these crazy ones in the park. And it is true that you have a different feel out here, for sure, right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It's a different. It's just a different environment.
It's a different environment.
Yeah, and especially not being able to hear our own voices too. Like it just changes the dynamic a little bit. So we got the halftime speech. We got Eddie hosts a sexual harassment seminar, a wedding toast during the apocalypse. Eddie works at a suicide hotline. Eddie on Wall
right.
Street during the 1929
Let's do me
crash.
working at a suicide hotline.
Okay,
And
okay.
we'll end with that.
Okay.
And write a review.
Please write a review. Subscribe to the YouTube. Go to the Patreon. And if you haven't written a review yet, go ahead and leave us a review. And if you really love the podcast, you've already left us a review, write a review for our podcast and someone else's podcast.
Okay.
All right.
And here we go. You intro it.
And now, Eddie Pepitone as the suicide hotline worker.
Well, why don't you be the guy who wants to kill himself?
Ring.
Hello?
Hey. Hello?
Yeah, hi. How you doing? What's the matter, fella? What? Come on, out with it.
I just, I don't have...
You know, if you keep your pain in, it's just going to grow.
Yeah.
Like a beautiful tree. I mean, like a weed, like a horrible weed.
Yeah, I just don't want to live anymore.
Makes two of us, pal.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, no, are you having trouble also?
Oh, yeah. Life is trouble. You know that?
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. Do you know that probably the biggest misconception we all have is that, and it's because of the media, that we think life is supposed to be nothing more than happiness and a joyride and beauty, when it's actually a very, very hard, difficult thing. And in order to get to that beauty and happiness, we have to literally go through hell, and that's what you're going through, and we all go through it, so you're not alone.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that last part. I was loading a gun over here.
Okay. Now I want you, as far as the gun go, what kind of gun is it?
It's a Smith & Wesson. It's a revolver.
Smith & Wesson, you're old school, huh?
Oh, I love a Smith & Wesson. Honestly, that's the only thing that keeps me going in this
Can
world
I
is my love for guns.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Look,
Ironically.
can I tell you again that life is difficult. Life is hard. Life is suffering. Life is suffering is the first noble truth. Now, so you're not alone with your suffering. Do you know that? Our biggest error is that we think it's supposed to be a cakewalk, sir.
Yeah. Well,
What you're feeling and what you're experiencing is the beauty of life. Life on La Luce is a Latin phrase. I think Latin. I'm not sure. I'm not good with languages ever since my translation app went on the fritz. But you don't need to know
all right.
about
Yeah.
what's going on with my apps.
Sure.
Except, did you ever get an app called Shazam, where if you hold it up to a musical tune, it'll
Yeah.
tell. Well, mine keeps saying raindrops keep falling on your head, and Bacharach just died. Burt
Yeah.
Bacharach, who wrote Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head,
Yeah.
he just died. And I think my Shazam is going to through some kind of mourning period. But what I wanted to tell you, sir, is that you are on La Luce, which I don't know if it's Latin or just Latin America in Spanish. It means in the struggle. And we're all in the struggle.
Yeah.
Okay?
Bam! Sorry about that. I just had to test it.
You scared me.
Sorry, I know. I got scared myself. I got to make sure I test it.
Hey, let me tell you something. If you shoot yourself, right, you will no longer be able to experience this palette of life.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I really like listening to you talking.
Okay.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Eddie Pepitone.
Eddie Pepitone.
Yeah, I'm a famous. No, that's a strong word for what I am. I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
Minor celebrity, I would say.
Yeah. No, I think I've seen you around, but if you're not doing anything today, I'd love to hang out. And you wouldn't happen to be single?
Single?
I have no hope, and I just need. I don't know. Maybe a new relationship could help me.
Can you quickly send me a picture?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Here,
send
let
me a
just,
picture on the number you dialed.
Yeah, here we go. All right, did you get it?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what?
I am a little busy today,
Okay.
but I don't want you to kill yourself.
Well, it sounds like we're already on a date. This sounds very familiar.
Is this what your dates are like?
Honestly, most of my dates have been like this.
Wow, that's draining toward your partner. Or
Yeah.
I don't know, partner's a strong word. That's a law firm term. It's draining toward the person you're on the date with.
I try to be upfront because they say women want us to be honest. So the first thing I always say is that I'm considering killing myself, and then I try to find out if they want to go Dutch on the receipt, or if they're a traditional type person.
You should just yeah.
And that does put some pressure on them.
Did you ever let me ask you this: have you ever had a second date with someone?
No, what do you mean? Like
You had
the same person
Same
again?
person.
Oh, no.
No, right?
No.
Well, that's because you're throwing up a lot of red flags.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. You're throwing up a lot of red flags. Don't do that.
Don't bring up suicide on a first date?
I'm not saying not to.
Yeah.
But I'm saying maybe you could work your way into it before talking about suicide, you talk about genocide, because genocide, which is the extinction, genocide, which is the intentional elimination of a race of people, Native Americans, Leonard Peltier. It's less personal than I want to kill myself and less jarring.
Yeah.
Well, maybe start with genocide, go to homicide, and then you just go to side. Like
maybe order a side of
Yes!
mashed potatoes, and then speaking of sides.
Yes, order a side.
Okay.
By the way, don't you love French fries?
You know what? I love French fries. I like McDonald's.
What if I were to say to you, I'm going to order you through Uber Eats or DoorDash or Instacart, or Crazy Eights, Bloodmobile,
Yeah.
Bookmobile, Therapymobile,
Sure.
Lyft, Lyft Eats. You know what I mean?
Wait, what?
I'm sorry. I got lost in all these apps. No,
We're
what
talking-
I'm saying is that I'm going to order you through one of these delivery services, which, by the way, you cannot take as a cab
Right.
because they're just going to deliver to you. And a lot of people, especially football teams that are getting murdered, think that Uber Eats is going to take them out of the stadium when they're just dropping off food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wait, so you're gonna order me fries?
What?
You're gonna order me fries from Uber?
I'm gonna order you some fries from the best fry restaurant there is. It's called Electric Chair Fries.
Oh wow, that's right up my alley.
In a way, it is. But these fries are so delicious. They're so delicious. They're usually the last thing that someone on death row will eat. Very popular in prisons,
Well, I'll tell you what.
death rows all over the country.
I think I'm gonna delay this whole suicide thing
For the fries?
for these fries, and I also
Okay, I'm going to put the order in.
I want to try out this tactic of not mentioning suicide on the
Yes,
first date
good.
too. I think
Good.
I should try that. I've never tried that.
And will you promise me one thing?
Sure.
That after you have your fries and you go on another date, call me before you do anything rash. I'm Eddie Pepitone, and I'm at the suicide hotline.
I'll definitely call you. I might call you in the middle of the night.
24/7.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah, I get lonely.
Hey, thanks, everybody. This has been another episode of Apocalypse Soon, this time in NoHo Park here in beautiful Southern California, where living is damn easy, right?
Damn
Kev?
easy. Piece of cake.
Piece of cake. We will see you until next time. We'll probably be back in the studio, I would think. And peace out, everybody. Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside.